All right, the first thing we're going to be going over is going to be white belt curriculum for the kids. And again, we're not going to be going over a ton of detail, just enough detail to kind of get you guys going in the right direction. And of course, we'll go over the more specific details once you guys are actually here in class. So white belt first stripe, we will be looking at the bridge and roll escape from the mount top and bottom, side control top and bottom, guard top and bottom, and then the rear break fall. So starting out looking at the bridge movement, we're going to be here, we're going to be on our backs, feet up close to the bottom, elbows in, hands up close to our neck, lifting the bottom up nice and high. And as my hips are starting to go, I go over a shoulder, and then we look in that direction. And then we go back down, and then it's going to be the same thing on the other side. So now I'm going to attack here on top. So Ronnie, come on. So I've got Ronnie top mount position. We can use that same bridge to help us get out from this bottom position, but we're going to have a trap. So for our bridge and roll escape, our arm shoots up, we reach around, and then we trap our partner's arm. Whichever side arm we got trapped, same side foot steps over, and then from here it's a big bridge, big roll towards that trap side, and then we come up to the top. Fine, I'll get you right around your back. Hands facing that way for me, please. Okay. And next ones we're going to be looking at is going to be our mount position. So we're going to start with the mount position. We're going to look at both top and bottom, what both people should be doing. So top mount for me, my knees are going to be tight. I'm going to take my feet and tuck them under the bottom. My chest is going to be nice and low, and my arms are going to be nice and wide. For Ronnie, I'll get off so you guys can see. Ronnie, a good bottom position is going to be a good defensive position, which means his feet are up close to his bottom, elbows in tight to the ribs, and the hands are going to be up close to the neck. So I'm going to slide over that way just a little bit, and you can stand back. Sorry. Next, we'll look at a side control position. We'll look at the top first, and then we'll look at the bottom. So side control, we want to make sure we've got a good base. So knees nice and wide, normally about the hip and the head. My chest is going to go nice and low on my partner's chest. And my arms for now is just going to come here and they're going to hug nice and tight. And there's different things we can do with the person on bottom with hand positioning, but just a good basic hand positioning. Elbows in, hands up, feet up close to the bottom. That way when we come down to this top position, he's in a good position and he's ready to defend himself. Next position is going to be the guard. So I'll have you on your back. So again, if Ronnie has to be on his back, he wants to try to make it to where he can keep his legs in between himself and the attacker. So when possible, he's going to take the feet, he's going to cross them in the back. It's going to be a little bit more control from here. So top person, we want to have what we call good base. So my knees are wide, I'm going to sit my bottom back. My back's nice and straight, my hands are going to be on my partner's upper body just like this. Ronnie, from here, he's going to come in and get a grip, and it don't matter what it is for now. It can be a sleeve and a collar. It can be 2-on-1 grip. Either one's fine. Just come in and get some type of control from that bottom position. All right, thank you, Ronnie. So that is all the material for white belt first stripe. Looking at white belt second stripe material, it'll be a shrimp or a hipping out. Shrimp escape from bottom side control back into the guard. Over the leg guard pass, and then we've got a key lock from the mount, and we have a key lock from side control. All right, so without a partner starting out, good defense positions like we had before, so feet up close, elbows in, hands up close to our neck. We start by falling to the side. So from here, I fall to the side, I make sure my feet are up close to my bottom. Now from here, I'm gonna use both of my feet to kind of drive and push into my shoulder. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna extend my legs, and I move my bottom away. So that is going to be our shrimp or our hipping out. So now we're going to look at that same movement, but this time we've got an attacker on top. We're going to look at how we're going to put them back inside the guard. So I'm going to be right here. I'm going to have Ronnie over here on this side. He's going to come. He's going to get me inside control. So again, elbows in, hands up, feet up close, just like this. We're going to start with that bridge movement. So a big bridge in, post my hands on my partner, and then I move my hips away. Create just enough space to be able to get our knee back through. I shoot my knee through. And then I place my partner back inside the guard. Next one we're going to be looking at is going to be an over the leg guard pass. So I'll have Ronnie on his back. Let's slide this way just a little. Perfect. So again, Ronnie's got the legs locked. I'm going to make sure I've got a good posture, which means my knees are wide. My back's nice and straight. My hands are going to be my partner's upper body just like this. We're gonna start by raising up, knee goes in the bottom. We take a small step back with the leg. So again, we're stepping back just far enough that way that leg clears my partner's knee. That way whenever I go to push, his leg has somewhere to go. So from here, like I push the knee all the way to the ground. And as the knee comes all the way to the ground, we're going from inside the guard to get our partner inside control. So look, I control, run around, I get my knee to the hip, knee to the head, chest to chest, and then we've got our control. Next movement we're going to be looking at is going to be from that top mount position. So I'll have you on your back, head that way from your own. So we're going to be looking at a key lock for both mount and side control. We'll look at it from the mount first. So again, person on the bottom's got good posture. I start from a good mount position. From here, we post up, we get control of our partner's wrist, get control of our partner's elbow, and then again, my arms are going to stay straight, elbows in front. I'm going to drive my partner's arm all the way to the ground. Hand that's controlling my partner's wrist, that same side elbow drops by the ear. Other hand, I'm going to dive underneath. We reach through and we grab our arm wrist. Now from here, my goal is to keep the back of my partner's hand on the ground. I'm going to pull down, I'm going to lift. And then I finish with that key lock, which is going to be a shoulder lock. We'll look at the same thing from a side control position. So knee to the hip, knee to the head, chest to chest. We're here. For this one, we're going to do a little bit different because I don't want to raise that weight up off my partner. I'm going to extend my hip side leg. I'm going to roll towards that side just a little bit. That way I've got a better angle to get control of my partner's arm. Now, as I roll back, I drive that hand to the ground. Elbow to the ear, whichever side of the wrist I've got, that same side elbow goes to the ear. Other arm dives underneath, I grab my partner's wrist. And then it's going to be the same. Back of the hand stays on the mat, we pull down, we lift up. And then we finish with our key lock. You ready? Yes, sir. And that will be all of white belt second strap material. This will be our white belt third strap material. This is going to include a punch defense from standing position into a body fold takedown. So attackers coming in with a big haymaker. We'll be looking at a double leg takedown. We'll be looking at a guillotine choke from standing position. We'll be looking at a standing in base and then a sprawl when the attacker's coming in and they're trying to grab our legs. So we'll look at the punch defense first into a body fold takedown. So attacker comes in with that haymaker, I step in, I hover up, crushing my forearms into my partner's chest. Now from here, elbows drop, my arms are going to wrap around, my ear goes to my partner's chest, and then from here, we're going to move this way just a little bit. I'm going to push with the head, pull the arms, and look, I step to get my partner to the ground. Now once we're here, I'll step my leg out, we'll come around, and we'll establish the top side control position. Next one we're going to be looking at is going to be a double leg takedown. So I'm going to have the attacker here, and we're just outside of reach. So good stance, elbows in, hands up. We start by lowering our level. So from here we lower, we take a step to the inside. I'm going to drive that knee all the way to the ground. My arms are going to shoot out. Grab my partner's legs, I drive. And then we take our partner straight down. From here we'll push, we'll hop over, and establish this top side control position. Next we're going to be looking at is going to be the guillotine choke from standing. So we're here, and an indicator for us, the attacker's head is going to be a little bit lower than ours, and typically that back is bent over just a little bit. So from here I reach out, control the back of the head, I'm going to shove it underneath the opposite side armpit. Arm wraps, we'll go this way. Arm wraps around the neck, and I'm going to grab my wrist. From here, I kind of step in, and then I'm trying to get this fist to that same side shoulder, and then we finish with that guillotine. Last one we're going to be looking at, our next one we're going to be looking at is going to be our standing in base. So, attacker comes in, they knock me down, I end up on my back. We don't just want to stand up from this position, I want to make sure I've got space. So the way we can create some space is an attacker with a kick to get him to back away, and then we sit up on our hip. Posted foot, posted hand, we use those posts to lift, and then from here we duck our head to the inside. Big half circle, make sure I can still see my attacker, and then I'll stand up, and then we'll start to make that space. Final one, attacker comes in, they try to grab our legs and they try to take us down. So as that happens, he comes in, he touches the legs, my chest is going to drop, my forearms are going to come on my partner's back, and then I'm going to kick my feet back, trying to get them as far away from my partner as I can. Now from here I can decide to disengage, or we can work on coming around and start setting up our attacks from here. And that is all of our white belt third stripe material. All right, this will be our white belt fourth stripe material. This will consist of a fan sweep from the guard, a Kimura from the guard, a guillotine choke from the guard, and standing and base from the guard. Partners inside the guard, the first thing we gotta do is be able to get the hands on the ground. So from here, I'm gonna kind of pull the hands out to the side. I'm gonna pull with my legs to get my partner to plant the hands. Then from here, I can kind of extend him away just a bit. We're gonna unlock our feet. We're gonna move our hips out. And then I'm gonna take my arms overhead and I'm gonna throw them towards the side I'm trying to sit up on. So look, I throw, I crash my chest into the arm and I get my hand posted behind me. From here, we're gonna control the tricep. Big bridge off that posted leg. I drive and I kick that leg over to establish his top mount. Next one will be the Kimura from the guard. It's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna kind of pull the arms to the side. I pulled my legs to get the hands posted. From here, we're gonna get control of one of our partner's wrists. I'm gonna move my body away. That way I can get that arm nice and straight. Now, once we're here, we're gonna start it just like we did that fan sweep. So I unlock my legs, I shift my hip out, and then I throw the arm, that way my chest crashes into my partner's arm. Now, one of the things that's different is I get to stay on my elbow on this, I don't have to come all the way up to my hand. Arm's gonna reach through. As it reaches over top and through, I grab my own wrist, keeping my partner's arm glued to my chest. Now I can push back and go flat. As I'm going flat, I'm gonna step over my partner's leg, I trap that foot. And now I've got to move my hip out from underneath my partner, throw the legs over, and then from here, I'm looking at taking that elbow that's nearest to the mat, and I'm pulling it down towards the ground. And then we finish our Kimura. Next one's going to be our guillotine. So I'm going to start as I'm sitting up for that fan sweep, but as I start to come up, the attacker starts to push me back down. So as that happens, I have my posted hand, I'm making enough space, and it's going to give me room to wrap the arm around the head. Once I get the arm around the neck, I come through, I grab my own wrist, and then from here I'm going to push back with my feet, kind of fall towards that head side, and then I wrap the legs. I extend, pulling that fist towards the shoulder, and then we finish with our guillotine. That is our white belt fourth stripe material.